Sadly, probably about 80% of the entire world's population does not believe that Jesus is God. Not even to mention the people out there that don't even believe that he existed. But it is discoveries like this that God is revealing to us in these last days that will hopefully change the hearts of many people. Earliest Jesus is God inscription found deemed greatest discovery since the Dead Sea Scrolls. So they're saying it's about 1800 years old, from around 230 AD, and it came from a private chapel that was reportedly the earliest known house of prayer. So here's a close-up of the actual part of the mosaic that says Jesus is God. And if you follow me, you know that I like to know the full story. So I was kind of wondering, well, what else did they find? And I started to dig. So they said they found it under Megiddo prison. There's Megiddo prison. Here's Jerusalem. So it's northern Israel area. They said they found it under the prison. They're doing excavations. So I wanted to see if there was, anything that you can see from Google Earth, which you really can't. And there's no areas around this prison that you can zoom in, kind of go street view. But this is the only section that I thought, that was obviously maybe an excavation site or possibly where they found it. Nothing really to see though, unfortunately. So then I looked up Megiddo prison and I found this much older article about the exact same mosaic, and it says it was actually discovered in 2005. A remarkable mosaic was made in a Christian house of worship in, I'm not going to pronounce that, in modern day Israel. Unfortunately, the British mandatory government built Megiddo prison over the site. Where have we heard that before? However, excavations helped by some of the prisoners discovered the mosaic in 2005, and only now it will go on public display. Then I wanted to know more about the original site that the mosaic was found in. What else did they find? Was this a whole ancient city that was buried? So I typed this in, and this is what I found. Archaeologists uncover 1800-year-old Iron Legion Roman military base, largest ever found in Israel. So it was actually during the late 90s that they decided they wanted to expand this prison. So during construction, some of the prisoners stopped and they realized that they were looking at ancient ruins. So everything got halted, everything got stopped. They called in the Israel Antiquities Authority, and archaeologists got onto the scene. Here's a picture from the Antiquities Authority from the actual site of excavation. Here's some more pictures of the site. I love archaeology so much, particularly, obviously, biblical archaeology, but this site takes on new meaning because, this could possibly be one of the very first churches that worshiped Jesus as God. What Tepper and the prisoners exposed is probably the earliest church ever discovered in the Holy Land, dating around 230 AD, and one of the very few churches from this early period anywhere in the world, from a time before Christianity became the religion of the Roman Empire in the early 4th century during the reign of Constantine the Great. I mean, honestly, the fact that we are looking at the first ever inscription that says Jesus is God, the first ever in history outside the Bible, should change the hearts of so many people. This discovery should also prove to many that the Bible is the truth, because all throughout the Bible we see that Jesus is God. John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. Very truly, I tell you, Jesus answered, before Abraham was born, I am. Jesus answered, I and the Father are one. Isaiah prophesied, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Titus 2:13, while we wait for the blessed hope, the appearing of the glory of our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ. What is the blessed hope, by the way? That's the rapture. Now, here is the best part of this entire story, and the reason that I got teary-eyed when I saw this article. So when Jesus was riding into Jerusalem on the donkey, people along the road were praising him, they were worshiping him, they were shouting out, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord." Of course, some of the Pharisees didn't like it, so they told Jesus, "Teacher, rebuke your disciples." They're like, "Jesus, tell them to be quiet." Jesus responds to them and says, even if they were to keep quiet, the stones would cry out. And here we are living in the last days. And while we watch 95% of the world deny Jesus' mere existence, the stones cry out that Jesus is God.